Hey y'all, welcome back, honey. I am back for us to talk about Real Housewives of Rhode Island. Okay. So first of all, Rosie and Ashley, right? They talk. Rosie felt bad for Joelyn. I guess, girl, I don't know why, because Joelyn damn sure won't be feeling bad for you. Understand. Okay. Now they're gonna be doing a disco party or something like that. I guess it's called Studio 54 or Studio 52, something like that. But they're doing a disco party, is what I'm gonna call it. And Rulla is expected to be there. Thank y'all so much for correcting me on her name. I was already spelling it wrong, Ruella. Okay, that's how I spelled it with an E. So I was saying her name is Ruella, but it's Rulla. All right. So let me remember that. Rulla. Okay. So yeah, so she is expected to be at that event. So of course her and Joelyn will be bumping into each other and we'll see how that's gonna play out. Now, Joelyn updates her husband on the winery and how things went down or whatever. She said she wished somebody would have told her that Joelyn, I'm sorry, that what's her name? Ruler was going to be in attendance. She wished that she would have knew ahead of time. And it's like, I'm glad they didn't tell you ahead of time. And it really don't matter because she didn't show up. So there's no reason to feel any type of way or anything. So she tells us about Ruler's husband trying to actively get her fired by emailing and calling people to file a complaint against her or whatever. And my thing is, but you said down to the winery that Ruler was the one making trying to get you fired. Now, see, it's one thing in my personal for a ruler to feel a way about Joelyn trying to give her information, right? I part of me does believe that Joelyn was just trying to say, hey, here's a heads up so you know what's going on. I do feel like that. Well, let me say this. Let me start over. I can't say I feel that way because Liz learned about the information. So obviously, Joellen shared the information or something with Liz. Liz told Rula about it. And then Rula was put in contact with Joellen. So when Joellen, and I like Joellen, y'all, I do. I like Joellen so far. I will say, Joelyn, you coming to the front and making it appear as though, well, I was just trying to give her a heads up and let her know what's going on. Technically, you didn't do that. Just like you was slick shady when you brought up what was going on in your friend's relationship, Kelsey's relationship, right? You kind of hinted and brought that up, and you really did that to see how the other ladies were going to react. Okay, so you are sneaky, Joelyn, but I kind of like you a little bit. Okay, so you knew what you were doing by not telling Ruler. You don't like Ruler because Ruler is just about as rude as your ass. You don't like Ruler because Ruler will get with you. That's what my opinion is at this time, and it could change. So for you to talk to Kelsey, I think it was Kelsey she talked to, and for you to tell her, oh, her husband, these people tried to get me fired and da 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 da. And I would feel away if I was Ruler. Cause I'm like, well, wait a minute, BIT, don't try and say I tried to do that if I didn't. That's a problem. But I do well, I can't I keep wanting to give Joe Ellen an out and I can't because I feel like now Ruler got a reason to feel away about you, BIT. She got a reason to feel away about you trying to be messy because that's what you were doing. Why wouldn't you come to her with the information? Right? But I mean, maybe Joellen was trying to escape the wrath of Rula. So she may have told it to Liz or something like that. And you still ended up getting that heat anyway. But either way, don't be coming to the confessional trying to make it seem like you was just trying to look out for her, knowing damn well you really wasn't. Okay, because y'all miss it like this. Stop playing. Okay. Anyway, Liz updated Jerry on Alicia because she didn't like the fact that Alicia asked her the question about her having an affair or whatever with Dino. And I understand Liz feeling away because it's like, damn, you my good girlfriend. But then you would pose this question like you on some messy stuff. And if anybody knows about our situation, girl, you would know. You would know it ain't what it is. You would know it ain't what the people trying to portray it out to be, but you want to try and pull a stunt like that. I'm questioning the friendship. I'm questioning you just a little bit, right? So she says that, and I kind of mentioned this, I feel, in the previous episode. She says when Jerry goes on his trips, he allows Dino to hang out with her as a way to look out for her, right? So when he's away, I'm gonna look out for your girl. So I don't know. And I also feel like, Liz, when you get super upset about the allegations that are out there, some part of me makes me think that y'all may have did a little fondling. Y'all may not have gone all the way, but you may have let him chew on your box. Like it's just Y'all feel what I'm saying? For her to say they have an unconventional friendship, the only way you can have an unconventional friendship is if you guys have tapped your feet in the waters just a little bit. And if you haven't, then it would have been straight platonic. And you didn't say that. So I feel like you're getting upset because the people are figuring you out. Okay? So I don't know, girl, but all right. So Kelsey introduces us to our boyfriend Bill. Excuse me. And I know Bill is going to be waiting on the bill because I feel like she hired him. Okay. I feel like she hired Bill for this show. He's one of her good friends or whatever the case is. Because her main man that she really want on the show won't be on the show. So she needs somebody that's going to sit up there and play in the people's face with her. That's what I think. Although I think Bill is very handsome. Okay. Very handsome. Bill ain't got it going on like that man that she dealing with got it going on. Okay. And then they don't even live in the same place, I believe. So, okay, girl, like, yeah, you just brought your friend on the show, and I'll shout out to him for looking out for you for that. So she talks about how she wants kids, and she's open to having as many kids as needed, as long as she has a nanny. I said, damn. So basically, you gonna have kids for somebody else to raise them? What you gonna do when the nanny's not around and you gotta do the job now? Well, like, huh? I don't like that. Like you living this life of luxury, but unless you finna find you another baller like that that's open to what you want, it's not gonna happen, love. And I feel like if you go with Bill, I think Bill is successful, but I don't know if Bill is going to be having a nanny around the house like that. Maybe for a little piece, I feel like you're gonna find yourself in a similar situation like Ashley. So I don't know. I think that I want Kelsey to just really think about this, right? Really think about this. I feel like don't have as many kids as needed because you have a nanny. I think have as many kids as needed in case you have to take care of them kids by your damn self. Just in case that man decide he gonna up and leave your ass and snatch the nanny from up under you. You need to think about it like that. And if you only have capacity for one girl, just fulfill that and just have that one child. Okay. And honestly, with that one child, I think you need to be over there trying to convince the man that don't want no kids of why you should likely have his child for legacy purposes or something. Like you need to be over there, like convincing him in some type of way to have this one child, and I just need your piece of sperm. You know what I'm saying? Okay. Some people do that. I mean, it's a lot of women out here going through surrogacy, so you could kind of say that you ain't got to worry about the child. I mean, that's kind of crazy to say, you know. But you gonna forever be taken care of that way. So I don't know. I feel like she need to think about that. But good luck to Kelsey child. Liz goes to see Alicia. Alicia apologizes at the winery. Alicia, let me tell you something. You a messy old something. And I like it, BLT. But you keep apologizing. You always doing something and then apologize. You did some shit to Kelsey. Oh, I'm sorry. I wanted to tell you I shouldn't have did what I did down to the picnic. No, I shouldn't have did that. I shouldn't have brought up this. I shouldn't have did that. Like, girl, shut up. You know what you be doing. Gonna ask this girl a question in front of everybody and you see she done got offended and now you want to sit up here and say, I'm so sorry, I didn't mean to do it. I wasn't trying to make you feel like that. Girl, shut up. This your friend. You about known Alicia longer than a lot of these folks. You knew how she was gonna react. I can't wait till somebody get you back though, Alicia. Okay? Or well, you knew Liz about as long as anybody else. Did I say that or did I say Alicia? Either way, you knew Liz as long as more longer probably than others. And at the end of the day, you knew what was going on, and I can't wait for somebody to get you back. So of course, Alicia starts talking about being engaged to her husband. I mean, well, being engaged to her baby daddy. I'm sorry. They've been engaged and they've been together for a long periodical time. They got engaged, I believe, right before she had her daughter. And part of the reason why they're not married now is because one, she hasn't seen successful marriages at all. Right. And also, and you know what? It's sad because I feel like the way people are getting divorces now is really given that marriage is like a bucket list type thing. And this sounds so bad, but hopefully y'all understand what I'm saying. Right? Some people don't get married out of fear of, it not working out, not being successful because they haven't seen anything successful, as she said. But then some people, maybe it's not taken as seriously as it once was because society and things have changed so much that I feel like some people be like, okay, it's a bucket list. I always wanted to be married. I always want to know what that was like. I always know wanted to know what that felt like. Now that they're married, if it ever goes wrong, they probably like, I'll never do this shit again. So it gives like a bucket list scratch off type thing to me. I don't know. But let's get back to Alicia. So Not only has she not seen successful marriages, but she's had her hiccups and stuff in her situation with this guy. And she said he wanted her to sign a prenup. And when she had her people look over the damn prenup, he pretty much was not even leaving her ass a dime. And you think I would marry him? No, because what's the point? You might as well not be married if I'm not gaining anything. Okay. Then she says that he won't even put her name on the house. Ain't that something? But see, Alicia, I also feel like I don't know what Alicia does for a living because she talked about being a stay-at-home mom or something like that. And I'm like, damn, Alicia, I thought you had a business too. But that's crazy to not even put your name on a house knowing that you're walking around with his child, his legacy. That's crazy to me. But what I also will say is you're talking to the wrong people and you're not asking the right questions. You need to be in an attorney's office to find out, although let's say I sign this prenup, right? God forbid, I'm not trying to sign this prenup that's not going to give me anything. What are the laws and the rules when it comes to marriage to where I could finagle my way out of this prenup and he has to give me something? What other cases? Because I'll be making my attorney research, baby. What other cases have you found where a person signed an ironclad prenup but still were able to get something out of the deal based on certain laws or whatever? Especially being that I'm a stay-at-home mom. How would that work? Where I have to ask this man for money. I hate asking him for money. What does that look like? Right. And then what kind of clauses or what can I put in this documentation? What can I push back on and say, hey, at the bare minimum, I get the house completely. So if I decide to sell the house, all the proceeds come to me. You could keep your businesses and stuff. Or you give me oh so much money a month. Like, yeah, he ain't trying to give me nothing, but like what are the other conversations you having with your attorney, girl? Okay, I'm starting to think that it's also that's one of the factors, right? The prenup, but it also is something else. I don't think it's just she hasn't seen successful relationships. I'm starting to wonder, do you even really like the damn man? Do you like him for real? Or you just feel indebted to his ass? I hate you can't get no break from him like Kelsey can from hers. But either way, Liz says that for her, she's like, hell no, I'm not doing none of this. I won't go. I don't think you should go. Hell no. Cause right now, me and Jerry, we split everything 50-50. So if you think you finna get out of this and not give me nothing on the back end, it's crazy. Yeah. And even though I'm not them kids' mama, I'm still gonna get me. I'm still gonna get me. And this is a shame. You done had this man baby and you ain't trying to get shit. I bet you what ladies won't sit up here and shame me no more. Okay. Remember how Miss Ruler tried to shame her a little bit by telling her she ain't have no kids? Yeah. But I bet you I get something out the deal. What you gonna get out of yours? Oops. So either way, Alicia said that she don't like asking for money. And that's when I was like, well, girl, damn, what do you do for work? Like, do you work? What's going on? Rula invited her family over. Okay. And she talks about the infidelity and things that happen and how they were taught as a family that family is everything, right? I don't know if this was her mama. I think that was her mama or somebody, but she was just pretty much telling her he made a mistake. So we have to move on and move forward. I said, a fucking mistake. There was no damn mistake. Him smiling for multiple pictures that he know this girl likely finna go and post online and kissing her on her face and lips or whatever. Girl, ain't nothing about that a mistake. And what's crazy is the fact that she sat up there and in my personal, she sat up there, let that man play on her face and then take him back. She says, oh, he was crying and he was doing this and he was begging to get back. Baby, he would have been begging after he saw me out in the streets with somebody else too. Like, again, y'all just don't be embarrassing these people enough for me. Okay, y'all don't. Okay, you don't get to play with me and think I'm not gonna play back. Matter of fact, she should have sat up there and had her attorney draft up some divorce papers, just a little piece, and just sat them bitches on the table for his ex. Okay, even if she didn't do nothing with it. But all right. And then for how he acted at the end of the episode, girl, you look stupid. I'm not gonna hold you, but good luck. Okay. So Ashley and her husband, right? They talk about not making why did I put not making enough? Was yes. Okay, Ashley and her husband. So of course he has that coffee shop. They meet up for lunch or whatever. He talks about how he feels like he not making enough to, I guess, uphold his end of the bargain. So she's having to constantly work, right? Ashley in her head thinks that she's a stay-at-home mom, but baby, if you're working to also pay the bills and likely pay, and you're bringing in more and likely having to pay more of the bills than he is, you ain't no damn stay-at-home mama. Okay. And he had to end up letting her know that. But he talks about him not meeting her where she is financially is a part of his insecurity. So if they don't go to therapy about this, they finna get a divorce. They finna get a divorce, and she's definitely gonna be more well off than him, in my personal. He's pissing me off. That would get on my damn nerves that this is your job, and every time we come home, we can't talk about other shit because you're too busy talking about the job. Like that's what she says. She says it's not just him being at the job, but when he's away, it's constantly on his mind. And she's working through it, right? She feels like she's being a good wife. She's trying to support him. She's trying to work through it despite how it's making her feel. Okay. Despite the fact that she got to be, as of right now, hopefully the tide will turn because I do feel like this happens in marriages, right? Maybe somebody goes back to school to get their doctorate degree, or whatever degree, sometime, or they're trying to make any business successful. Sometimes at a period, one of the parents will likely have to be the single parent for that time being. Okay. But and I'm not that they have to be the single parent, but it may feel like that. You may feel like a lot of the weight is on you because that person is having to give a bit of their time to something else, right? Because they chose to go back to school, whether they wanted to become an MD or whether they wanted to become an attorney or whatever it is they wanted to become after y'all done had kids. Like that's the risk, you know. And I don't fault her for hanging in there with her husband. So, but I don't know. I think at some point they may just need a good mediator between them to help them have some healthy communication and, you know, breaking down, setting up priorities, even with the extra stuff they got going on, managing of the children and all of that. Right. She's the breadwinner and she only pays for 33 hours for a nanny. I don't know. You might need to pay. You might have to you might have to pay a little extra for the damn nanny. So you can get some more time to yourself or prioritize the 33 hours that you do got. And it's easier said than done because again, that's probably all she can afford because she got to make the extra money because obviously the coffee shop not bringing in shit right now. Okay, he got machines breaking down and stuff. He's having to order parts, order this, order that. All that stuff adds up. And I hate it for him because he talks about how, oh, I got the Iceman coming out. He had somebody coming out to work on the machine, right? But that's going to cost you a lot of money. Like he may not have the lump sum to go and buy him a whole new machine, right? So it's best if he just pays the person to come and fix it 300 or so dollars. But if they're having to constantly come out to fix it, you losing more money in the long run, in my personal, versus getting a better machine, right? Just getting a newer machine, paying a monthly payment for that, which is what you probably would be paying the damn guy every month anyway. And when you look at it, if you've paid him maybe $300 every other month, and you look at it at the end of the year, like, damn, I done paid him that much just to come out and fix this. How much would it have been for a new machine? You probably came out better getting a new one. I don't know the ins and outs of running a restaurant. It definitely seems like it's a lot. But hopefully they figure it out. You know, he definitely seems to be taking it a bit hard, you know. She talks about how she hates to think about it as a burden of her being of the kids being two on one. It's one parent and she got to deal with the two kids. Girl, that's a lot. That's a lot. And then when he comes home, he's still mentally at the damn restaurant and he's not getting into daddy mode to help out. And not saying that he isn't, but I can understand her probably feeling like she's always on alert with the kids and the kids not as much. I don't know. They sound stressful, girl. I hope they figure it out though. I really do. I hope they're able to figure that out because that just sounds like a lot. Even with me trying to piece it together to get an understanding of what's happening, already sounds like a lot. So Rosie and Rich, right? They've been married for about 1 year. She don't really want kids. He wants her to reconsider that. You know, she talks about how tough her mom was on her, you know, and how she had to be perfect all the time, her and her siblings, and how her mother wants things a particular way. So basically, she has been scarred. And she's afraid that if she has a kid, she may resent the kid. Okay. Why would you resent the kid? Because you're a better mom than your mama? That would make no sense to me. But okay, maybe you'll resent the kid because you would have never wanted a damn child and you talked yourself into having a child because that's what that nigga wanted. Like, maybe that's why you would resent the child or something. But I don't think you would resent your child because you've had a terrible parent. A lot of people find joy in being a better parent. I'm sorry, because you were a better parent. A lot of people find the joy in being a better parent than their parents were. So why would you resent the child? That didn't make sense. I think she would resent it because she don't want it. And the fact that he's trying to convince her to slick have it. That's the issue. Let's get to this disco party because Dino is at the party and Kelsey thinks he's there for Liz to prove a point that her life is normal. See, me, Jerry, and Dino can all be in the same place, so there's no concern about that, guys. You can end the rumors, right? And I think that is exactly what Liz is doing. Now, Rulla done arrived with Brian, and baby, when I tell y'all, Alicia be wearing him out in that confessional behind his back. Once, when she said he was rubbing more than feet, then she said he came in there wearing two costumes, one as whatever he was dressed as, and the other as the faithful husband or something. I said, baby, Alicia, they gonna get you. Alisa, let me tell you something. If you don't get that work this season, they're gonna wear you out next season, girl. So JoEllen got there, right? She got in with her husband. They came in, and let me tell y'all, she got in the paint as soon as she got in there, right? And she was like, "Hey, you think we can talk to you real quick?" So they all split off couple to couple. So you got JoEllen and her husband. I can't think his. I think it's Gary, and then you also have Brian, and then you have Rulla, right? Now, baby, let me tell y'all something. JoEllen had that energy, but be clear, because I told y'all I was thinking that JoEllen was a little afraid of Rulla. And shout out to y'all that was in the comments saying, "No, girl, you got to watch the third episode." Let me tell y'all, JoEllen was not afraid of Rulla at all. But be very clear about it. She was only hyped because her husband was there. Because when her husband was not there and she thought Rulla was about to pull up, she was very afraid. Okay. That's the energy she was giving. However, I like the energy she brought with her husband because that's how it's supposed to go. Okay. You supposed to feel empowered when your man got your back and he like ready, like, what's up? I'm finna go to war with you because ain't nobody finna disrespect my wife. I said, mother right, Gary. Period. Okay, so I would have been over there the same way as JoEllen. Not even for the yup, and yeah. So why you did it then? So why did you do it? Exactly. I loved it, baby. I'm not gonna hold you. I loved it. Okay. So her husband was like, yeah. What's up? So what's up with all this job stuff? Why y'all call her job? I said, baby, you better get straight to the point. Gary, do not play. Gary do not play. Brian says that, JoEllen, she perpetuated things about me. And, I was on the phone with a friend and he said, hey, no problem. I'll talk to her boss right now. And JoEllen ends up bringing up an email. So she said he sent the email and her husband was like, so wait, did you call the company or he called the company? And then Brian, who has a way with words, Ty, for some people, if you allow him to get away with it, he's like, you know what? I called my colleague. So, I was the one, I was on the phone with him. So yeah, like basically saying I call. Okay. He says, but my intent wasn't to get her fired or anything. It was just to get her to calm down, the things that she was saying. Baby, the way that Gary fired back at him and gave him a response that I was thinking the exact same thing. He said, so why you didn't call me? I said, exactly. Why you ain't called me to shut it down? Why you went over there and called her job? Why you call her job? Because you could have called me. I could have calmed down whatever was going on. So you took a personal matter and made it a professional one. And that's the problem that I got with you. Understand that. I said, I know that's right. Let's go. So then JoEllen speaks on the affair. And then Rulla says, let's not, can you not do that, JoEllen, girl? Can you not do that? Like, let's not bring it up, okay? He just had a moment of indiscretion or something she said. And I said, do you hear yourself, Rulla? Do you he had what she say he just had an indiscretion or a moment of indiscretion or something? Do you hear yourself, girl? He had a moment of making you look a fool. And he's continuing to have a moment of making you look a fool. What? Don't piss me off, Rulla. Girl, do not piss me off. So Gary and them is like, girl, everybody was talking about it though. You over here coming down on my wife, baby, but everybody was talking about it. So move around. So then Rulla says that Joelyn was excited to put out the pictures, and share the pictures. And maybe she was, right? And if she was, then she was wrong for that in my personal, because she won't want nobody to do that to her. Now Gary is like, but everybody was talking about it. Okay, and I don't really care about that. What I care about is my wife being able to bring money home so she can put food on the table for my kids. That's my concern. I don't really give a fuck about what y'all got going on for real, baby. I said, baby, Gary, ooh, let me tell y'all something. When JoEllen said at the end of the night that Gary was gonna give him some, I was like, and is. And is, okay, and Yes. So JoEllen tells Rulla that he may still be cheating. Okay. I don't know. He may be. And Rulla says he's not having an affair. He's not having one. And then JoEllen said, oh, okay, boo. I promise though. On my kids. And you know, I'm putting it on my kids, but on my kids. Okay. Child, somebody got in the comments and said that JoEllen is friends with the lady on Facebook, so she would know. Yikes. And guess what? This is the same way. The same way JoEllen feels, Liz feels the same way. Like the man is still cheating on you, girl. So then JoEllen tells Ryan, you know, you want to tell her how it is? You want to speak up for yourself? You want to say something? So he says, you know, we all have things that we do. Those words right there is enough to let you know what this man is on. And then goes on to say, and I'm not talking about anything. You know why he didn't talk about nothing? Because one, he just embarrassed himself and got punked the hell out because he called down to that lady job, right? Also, he don't know how much information she really knows, so he doesn't want to say anything. And JoEllen bust that damn bubble yet again. Be very clear about that. He's a cheater, pumpkin eater. Okay? Straight clownery, Miss Rulla. Okay? It's just what it is, girl. He was cheating and he's still cheating. So JoEllen says that none of her issues are with Rulla, but more so with Rulla's husband. And it took me back to that moment of, well, if your issues are more with Rulla, why you lied and said that lady was over there trying to get you fired when you know that she wasn't? Okay? But also, I think when she says, well, I will say this. I think that part of JoEllen's issue with Rulla is that Rulla is in denial. And that would frustrate any friend. Like, girl, I think highly of you. And for you to sit up here and be so dense and dumb is what's pissing me off. Okay. So there's that. Rulla and Brian, they end up taking this awkward ride home, child. And Gary was over there, you know, standing by his wife's side while Rulla wanted this man to stand up and speak for himself and them as a unit, and he really wouldn't do it. He says that, you know, I wasn't going to be up there, you know, yelling or saying anything to a female. First of all, for you to call her a female and not a woman is something about that for me. I don't know what it is, but I don't really like when men say stuff like that. It just gives, I don't know. Like, yes, that is what you check on a box, female, male, whatever the case is. But when they say it, it just gives that you don't respect women as a whole, that you won't just say a woman. It was just something about that language for me that I don't like. But all in all, he said he wasn't going to be yelling at her. And I'm like, but you'll call her job and try and get her fired? You'll call her job and put a complaint on her? You'll call her job and try to get her reprimanded, though, for your own actions because you out here being a hoe? But who's reprimanding you, though? Because your damn wife ain't holding you accountable. But now, all of a sudden, you ain't got nothing to say and you don't want to say nothing. I don't want to address her. Just say I'm a punk because I'm a punk. Because I'm a punk. Okay? Just say that. I ain't want her husband to jump across that table on my ass. And I also was afraid that she was going to let out more than what I wanted her to, therefore embarrassing us more. Oh, okay. Either way, Kelsey ends up approaching Liz about the ongoing rumors of Dino and stuff because she wanted to go somewhere with Dino and her husband. And I think Kelsey was like, well, no, I don't think Dino should go because of the ongoing rumors and stuff like that. So Liz gets upset. She's like, you're not my friend. You're fake. You're this and that. Get out of my face. Whatever. You're bringing up Dino to hide from the fact that you got your own story and situation with Dino. And I'm like, oh, do she? Do she? Now, granted, I mean, I don't know if it was an issue to take Dino, but to be clear, like, I don't think Kelsey was wrong in the beginning. Like, you got Dino around to clear to try to clear the air. And you're really upset, Liz, because nobody is buying the bullshit you putting out there. Right? They're still believing whatever rumors. But at the same time, girl, what you got going on with Dino, honey? Miss Kelsey, what you got going on? Tell the people would love to know. Okay, I guess we'll find out in the next episode. But that's all I got for Real Housewives of Rhode Island. Leave your thoughts and comments down below on what all we talked about. I'm Jamie, that's me. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye.
Yeah, family over fame in this bitch, yeah. The glory of living righteous is setting in. My street knowledge and education's a perfect blend. Young mogul, independent, I've been setting trends. The first one from my family to be faithfully wed. Fuck niggas and the horses that they riding on. I see this shit from all angles like a polygon. I'll never politic in the drama.